Parlay King Sports. Recap from college football yesterday. Man, we had a couple plays that we thought that was like ultimate winners. My disappointments yesterday was in Indiana. That was number one. Indiana, what are you doing, man? I mean, Cincinnati is not no top 15 team in the country. They're replacing a whole lot of starters on offense and defense. You go down to Cincinnati yesterday and just completely get blown out. I mean, you ain't even covered the spread, man. That's what makes me really pissed off about taking Indiana yesterday. You ain't even cover the spread. And really make it so bad. I had Indiana plus 19. I thought that was lock. Like, man, that's got to be a lock. Indiana plus 19. That got to be a lock. Like, that's not even – the odds maker's not even giving you 19 points. You know what I'm saying? 19 points with Indiana. I'm like, okay, that's a lock. If Indiana lose, they'll lose by 10, 15, 16 points at the max. No, they go down there and get completely dominated, blown out. You didn't even cover the spread. So Indiana plus 19 yesterday, I thought that was a lot. I had that on multiple parlays yesterday, man. That took me straight out the game. That took one of my parlays straight out the game. The Indiana plus 19. And then we had Duke plus 7. What are you doing, Duke? You down 8 points with a minute left in the game. You score a touchdown, but don't go for 2. I don't understand. You down 8. You need 8 points. You score a touchdown. You need to go for 2 because you missed the extra point. So you need to go for 2 because you're down 8. What does Duke do? They come down, get a score, don't go for 2, kick the extra point. Now you still down 8 points. You still down 8. They don't go for 2, man. They kick the extra point. End up losing the game, which I knew they was going to lose the game, but I thought they would have covered the spread. End up losing the game, didn't cover the spread, lose the spread by 1 game yesterday. Duke, what the hell are you doing, man? We had Duke plus 7. They did cover the spread. They didn't go for 2 like we thought they was going to do. What they were supposed to do, they were supposed to go for 2. They didn't go for 2. So that killed another parlay. Then East Carolina. Oh, my God. East Carolina. I mean, did you really know that Navy is one of the worstest college football teams in the country? Navy is one of the worstest college football teams in the country. I seen them get dismantled by small teams. Real small. Navy is trash. And not only y'all didn't cover the spread. No, they had to do it way better than that. They had to do it way better than that. They didn't cover the spread. They lost the game, right? Straight out. They lost the game straight out. Went to overtime with bum-ass Navy and losing overtime to Navy, man. That was my – out of all the games that we had plays in yesterday, that was one of the games that I was like completely dumbfounded off of, because I'm like, you lose to Navy, man. They are garbage. Navy is trash. and you lose to them straight out, man. I couldn't believe that shit, man. I couldn't believe it, man. Let's go to Michigan. Oh man, Michigan is hot garbage, man. You hot garbage. If you can't run the football, Michigan is in trouble. You stop that run game for Michigan, it's over with, man. It's over. Arizona, California. Yeah, Arizona, California. I was on Arkansas State plus the points. East Carolina, yeah, East Carolina. I just talked about them. East Carolina trash, and I ain't mess with the Incarnate Word in southeastern Louisiana. No, I ain't mess with that. It was just East Carolina. We had Arkansas State plus the points, so they covered. So we ain't mad at them. And Arizona, California, I ain't having play in that game either. I think California blew out Arizona or something like that. But East Carolina, man, the East Carolina is fucking pathetic, man. But let's get back to this Michigan. Michigan at home in the big house yesterday. You disappointed me. They put y'all on TV. Straight disappointment. I mean, you struggling with motherfucking Maryland. I mean, in Maryland, Tua Tagovailoa, he was throwing the ball pretty good. Like Michigan couldn't stop him. He was moving the ball up and down the field yesterday on Michigan. Every time I looked up, Tua was moving the ball on Michigan. Michigan defense is straight garbage. Their whole offense is catered around the run game, which I understand that. You know, the quarterback only throws to his tight end. I ain't seen him throw to no receivers. He kept going to that tight end. Every chance he got, he went to the tight end. He didn't go to no receivers. He didn't push the ball down the field not one time yesterday. And Michigan is in trouble. Like, they are straight garbage, man. You can't cover a the spread was 15-point spread against Maryland. Maryland is garbage. Ohio State is going to win the Big Ten. Hands down, Ohio State is going to win the Big Ten. They're going to beat everybody in the Big Ten by double digits. It ain't going to be no struggling when Ohio State play anybody in the Big Ten. They're going to beat everybody by double digits. Michigan struggling yesterday, man. That took down another parlay. Michigan is fucking trash. I would never put Michigan on a ticket ever again. I never put Michigan on a ticket. I never give out Michigan as a play for my clients. I never do that again, man. Michigan is trash, man. They cannot cover no spreads to save your life. Who was the other disappointment yesterday? Miami, Ohio came through for us. You know what I'm saying? We had them +7. They ended up winning the game outright. James Madison was my lock of the weekend. James Madison +9. It looked like James Madison was going to get crushed. They was down 18 points at halftime. I don't know what they said at halftime that made the offense click, but they came roaring back in the second half. Came back, won the game. Fuck covering the spread. They came back and won the game outright. So big shout out to James Madison. We had Clemson -2. I had Clemson -2 on the ticket because I'm like 7 points on the road. Shaky. Very shaky. And it was very shaky. I mean, Clemson defense. Clemson ain't got no defense. Wake Forest ain't got no defense either. For the Wake Forest to lose that game, when your quarterback throw for 6 touchdowns. I mean, that was a school record. School record, 6 touchdowns, and you lose the game, you ain't got no defense. Clemson barely got out of there with that win. They offense looked like garbage, man. It looked like garbage to me. And I was watching the majority of that game yesterday. I kept going back and forth from that game to the Michigan game. And I was going back to that game. You know what I'm saying? I was going back and forth, back and forth. And Clemson, man, your offense is garbage, man. I know y'all put up 51 points. That's because Wake Forest is trash. Oh, Miami hurt. Oh, my God. The Miami Hurricanes are hot garbage. I had them on a parlay yesterday. Hot garbage. Oklahoma Sooners. I ain't gonna say they sucks because they came through for me last week. You know what I'm saying, against Nebraska. You know, they laid a big egg at home, man. How you lose, man? Adrian Martinez is garbage, man. Like, he been in college for like 10 years, man. Adrian Martinez been in college for 10 years. I think he played like 5 years with Northwestern. You know what I'm saying? 5 years in Northwestern, and here he is in Kansas State. You know, this is like his 9th year in college. Like, he's a terrible quarterback for real, man. And you lose to him, Oklahoma. You should be ashamed of yourself this morning. Ashamed. You can't lose to no goddamn motherfucking Kansas State. You can't lose to them, especially at home. Just very, man, terrible performances yesterday, man. Terrible, man. Terrible. Disappointing performances, man. Very disappointing. Michigan State get blown out at home by Minnesota. Like, we didn't have a play in the game, but we was watching it. You know what I'm saying? Watching the score. Michigan State, your season is over with. You see all these teams that started out 3-0, 4-0. They're starting to get exposed now. Like, you know what I'm saying? You get off into conference play and you get blown out. I thought they weren't even going to score. They ended up scoring a late touchdown in the fourth quarter, which was, garbage. Michigan State, your season is over with. No faith in Michigan. If I see Michigan on the motherfucking ticket giving up double-digit points to anybody, I don't care who it is. If I see Michigan on the ticket giving anybody double-digit points, I'm going against Michigan for the rest of this year. Shouts out to Ohio State. They covered the spread, no problems. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to Alabama. They covered the spread. Georgia, the fuck was y'all doing yesterday, man? See, a team like Georgia, it's hard to get up for teams like they playing yesterday. It's hard to get up for them little teams, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's hard. But Georgia is in trouble, major trouble. They offense revolves around that tight end. You shut that tight end down, you shut down Georgia. Because they ain't got no run game. Georgia cannot run the football at all. They got a tight end running the football for them. Shit, that right there lets you know Georgia can't run the football. Georgia got a lot of problems. They can't run the football. Where's your receivers at? Like, I ain't seen your receivers step up or do anything. Your defense got exposed yesterday. Major. That should have been the lock that should have been the lock yesterday. Kent State plus 45. That should have been the major lock yesterday, man. Washington State. That's another disappointing team yesterday. How you go from up double digits in the fourth quarter to losing the game by double. Did they end up losing? No, they ended up losing. No, they ended up losing the game by a score. But Y'all was up double digits in the fourth quarter. I think with like 5 minutes left, and y'all let Bo Nix, come up in there and get a victory, man. Toledo, disappointing yesterday. Miami, Florida, disappointing. Uh, Tennessee, disappointing performance for Tennessee. Y'all, even though y'all won yesterday, your defense is garbage. You shouldn't have never gave up that many points to Florida, man. Florida is garbage. Their quarterback only had one motherfucking passing touchdown the whole season. He come down to Tennessee and he throwing for 4 touchdowns on y'all defense, man. Tennessee defense is trash. Yeah, man. All these teams, man. A lot of the favorites didn't cover yesterday. And the teams that was favored, some of the teams that was favored lost. Like outright loss. I mean, it's just pathetic, man. It's pathetic. Penn State yesterday. That it was another team that I had on a parlay. Penn State. Pathetic performance yesterday, man. Pathetic performance. You. I just saw Central Michigan get destroyed by Oklahoma State. What was it? Week 2. I think it was week 2 in college football. Central Michigan went to Oklahoma State. They got destroyed. And then they go up in Penn State, and Penn State struggled with these guys, bro. Struggled with Central Michigan yesterday. You didn't even cover the spread, man. I needed one more touchdown from Penn State to cover the spread yesterday, and they couldn't even do it. They couldn't even do it. They couldn't do it. They sat on that little lead, that 19-point lead yesterday. They wasn't trying to cover the spread, man. They was just trying to get out of there with a win, man. But Penn State, you fucking pathetic. I can't wait until Ohio State blow your motherfucking head off and your season to be over with. Because I ain't got no faith in Sean Clifford. Sean Clifford, when he played the good teams, he folds under pressure. He folds under pressure. Yeah, he could beat Auburn. Auburn ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? Auburn ain't shit. You can beat Purdue. Purdue ain't shit. Man, Purdue didn't even cover. Look, Purdue had a 17-point spread. I took the spread down from 17 to 10. I had Purdue minus 10. And they only winning by 3 motherfucking points against. Against a FBS school, man. You can't make this shit up, man. I took it down to 10, and they end up winning by 3 motherfucking points, man. Purdue is straight garbage, man. Purdue is garbage. Tennessee ain't got no goddamn defense. Tennessee ain't got no defense. Fucking Georgia. If you see a 40-point spread on up there with Georgia, go with the other team. They ain't covering them goddamn 40 points. They ain't covering that shit. That's 2 weeks in a row that Georgia been favored by 40-some points and did not cover. 2 weeks in a row. Mississippi State yesterday gave me a push. You didn't cover the 31-point spread, man. You gave me a push yesterday, man. So I ain't supposed to get no push against no goddamn Bowling Green, man. Miami, Florida's hot garbage. I never put you on a ticket again. Ever. Ever. That quarterback, Tyler Van Dyke, I thought he was, he was better last year than he is this year. Put it like this. They had a way better record last year at this time. He was trustworthy last year. This year, man, that motherfucker is garbage. Like, he's straight garbage, bro. Straight garbage. Straight garbage. But we back today in the NFL, man. You know what I'm saying? We only got a 5 team. We got a 5 team parlay in the NFL today. 5 team parlay. We got 2 units on it. That's how we coming today in the NFL. 5 team parlay, 2 units. You know what to do if you want to get in on this. Twitter, Instagram. The ACC games for Week 5: NC State, Clemson, Wake Forest versus Florida State. And then I'll take NC State depending on how many points they get. I'm taking them. Take NC State. Wake Forest ain't got no goddamn defense. You know, they ain't got no defense. They can score all day long. Don't get me wrong, Wade. They can score all day. It's just the defense, man. They got no defense. You can't stop nobody. Can't stop nobody, man. You can't win, man. You know what I'm saying? You can't win, man. You can't win if you don't stop nobody. 5 team parlay, man. That was the recap in college football yesterday, man. You know, we had a whole bunch of disappointed teams. Indiana, I'm disappointed, man. I just knew y'all was gonna cover that spread, man. I just knew it, man. You had to cover this, man. Just nah, I ain't covering this. My free play for NFL and week for this week is that. Well, I don't know if you can get it, but I had Dallas +4. That was the play for this week in the NFL. My free play this week in the NFL, Dallas +4. So that put my college free play record to Tennessee didn't cover, but USF covered. 5-2. So I'm 5-2 on free plays in college football. 5-2. 5-2. Tennessee was covering. Yeah, Minnesota looked good, man. Minnesota looked real good. You just got to see how far can they go. You know what I'm saying? But they look real good right now. They look the part right now. They look the part. They look the part. They do look the part. But they ain't beating Ohio State. Man. Yeah, you might be able to beat Michigan State and all them. You ain't beating Ohio State, though. You can't stop Ohio State. Ohio State got that high power offense. And if you can't score, if you can't go score for score, strike for strike, you're going to get blown out. That's what happened to Wisconsin. I knew Wisconsin. That was Ohio State minus the 15 was a lock yesterday, man. I knew Wisconsin wasn't going to be able to keep up. I just knew. I'm like, man, I already saw Wisconsin all year. They don't have no offense that can score strike for strike. They ain't got that. So I'm like, you gonna get blown out because you can't keep up with Ohio State. You know, they only path to victory or beating Ohio State is they're gonna have to hold the guy. You can keep score low and dirty for the first 3 quarters, get to the fourth quarter, and it's like a one possession game. And that's the only way you can, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's our only strategy on how to beat Ohio State if you can do that. Now, I don't think you can do that because they got too many receivers for your defense to cover. Somebody gonna be open. C.J. Stroud, 16 touchdowns, 1 interception of the season. He looking like Heisman. C.J. Stroud looked like Heisman. 5 touchdowns last night, no picks. That's Heisman shit. The spreads in college football will be out later on today for week 5. I get the spread straight from Vegas. So I'm gonna say they'll probably drop like after it's about 3:30, 4 o'clock. That's when they'll drop for week 5. Yeah, Oklahoma State Baylor, yeah. Yeah. This NFL look good too. The only thing I don't like about the NFL, excuse me, is they start time. They start at 1 o'clock, man. I don't like that 1 o'clock shit. You know, you know, NFL should start at 12, like college. You know what I'm saying? An extra hour for these commentators to talk my head off. Like, nah, man, I don't want to see that shit. I don't even turn on NFL until games time. Like, I don't watch no pregame. Like, you know what I'm saying? Pregame start. They got 3 pregame shows before the goddamn game show. Right? That's too much talking. I know people love the NFL. I know people spend mass money on the NFL every Sunday. But goddamn it, I don't want to hear all that goddamn talking, man. I don't want to hear no 4 hours of talk before the game. Nah, I could go on YouTube and start my own podcast and talk for 4 hours before the game starts. Just sit up there and watch you pundits sit up here. And don't none of them be knowing what the fuck they talking about and shit. You know what I'm saying? None of those pundits that's on TV know what the fuck they talking about. The TV Fox News or 12 Channel 12 News, they tell them what to talk about. They can't put their real feelings on TV as far as like who they think gonna win the day. You know what I'm saying? Because they getting paid from a company telling them like, look, we don't want you to say this, we'll want you to say that. You know, it's basically like scripted. They got to stay on script. They can't go off script. And I'm getting tired of seeing the same crew on Fox 19, man. I'm tired of seeing Howie old ass, man. I don't want to see your old 75, 90-year-old gray hair every motherfucker wear. I don't want to see you, man. I'm tired of seeing Howie Long. I'm tired of seeing motherfucking the other dudes and shit. I'm tired of seeing motherfucking Michael Strahan. The only dude up there I like to see is the dude that run the show. The dude that run the show. That's the only dude that I like on there. Everybody else, man, scrap that shit. Scrap that shit, man. Tired of Howie Long. Howie Long will never put his real opinions out there. Shit, he always go off of what somebody else said. And then you got Terry Bradshaw. He's terrible, terrible. Always laughing and giggling and shit, not taking this shit seriously. Always want to make up jokes and shit, man. That shit is terrible, man. That's why I don't even watch that shit, man. It's just garbage to me, man. The same thing with ESPN Game Day when they got Lee Corso on the TV screen. This old ass 70, 90-year-old man sitting up here putting on facial mask and all that shit. He could barely read a whole sentence correctly. I don't watch none of that crap, man. They can keep all that bullshit. I don't watch no ESPN. ESPN, they lie all day long. They don't go with no facts. It's all lies, motherfucking hypotheticals. Or what would happen if the 98 Chicago Bulls team played the 2022 Golden State Warriors? And man, all that hypothetical bullshit, man, I don't want to be a part of none of that crap, man. It's a whole bunch of hypothetical bull crap. No facts. No facts, man. They'll make up stats right in your face. Right? ESPN is notorious for that. They will make up a stat just to put on TV. Tom Brady, when he wears the color red, he is 26-1, in the month of October or some shit like that. Like I'm telling you, they make up stats, man. That's why I hate fucking ESPN, man. Yeah. Oklahoma is disappointed, man. It's disappointed for you losing to motherfucking Kansas State, man. Like you ain't even losing to a top flight quarterback. You lose to, like I said, Martinez, dude been in college 10 years and shit. You losing to him. Like, you should be pathetic. And the quarterback from Oklahoma, you should be like he put up 4 touchdowns. Like, man, like it went on him. He threw 4 touchdowns. That should be enough. But nah, it ain't enough. You should have went for 5. You should have went for 5 touchdowns. You know what I'm saying? Your defense is trash. And then you let Kansas State run all over you. I think they gave up like 200 something yards on the ground. Because I think Martinez ran for 100, and then Deuce Vaughn ran for like 115 or something like that. Like both of the quarterback and the running back ran for 100, all on y'all and shit. And that was their offense right there. That's Kansas State offense. They don't want to throw the ball. They can't throw the ball. Just pathetic, man. Just pathetic, man. Yeah, Dallas +4 is the free play in the NFL. If you can get it, you probably can't get it now. Because last time I looked on the spread, it was -1 or +1. I think Dallas was getting 1 point. Why, but you're gonna take 1 point for you might as well just go money line. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's 1 point gonna do? Can't win the game with 1 point. The game ain't gonna end in a tie. You know what I'm saying? The game. That's the only way that 1 point come into advance if the game ended a tie. Like, no, I don't want no goddamn 1 point. The game ain't gonna end in a tie. Somebody gonna win. Even though the game can't end in the tie in NFL, which I don't even like those. I don't even like those rules in the NFL. The game can end in the tie. The game should never end in the tie. It should just keep going until somebody fuck up or somebody score. Like it should never end in the tie, man. Never, man. Never. It should just keep going. Just like college football. It keep going. You know what I'm saying? You get a touchdown, I get a touchdown. Okay, we go to the next overtime. You get a touchdown, I get a touchdown. You got to go for two. We both get it. We go to the next overtime. Like, bro, you just keep doing that shit. NFL gonna stop. Like, oh, if we go to overtime and we play the whole overtime out and don't nobody score, the game ends in a tie. That's some bullshit, bro. Like, it should never be no ties in the NFL. You don't do that shit in the playoffs. If the game is tied in the playoffs, they go to overtime, and if they play the whole overtime out, they gonna start another overtime. They don't just tell you, "Oh, the game over with." Send the game ends in a tie. No, it keep going. It keep going score until somebody scores something, a field goal, a safety, something to change the score. But that game ain't gonna get stopped. They gonna keep playing that game until that shit over with. Ain't gonna be no, oh, the game ends in a tie. Nah, they don't do that in the playoffs. It just keep going. It keep going. Even if the time run out in overtime, they'll start another overtime. Man, I don't know, man. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Shit changed week to week. You know what I'm saying? If that was the case, if you looked at it like that, everybody be hitting. You know what I'm saying? It changes week to week, man. You can't have the same strategy week every week. Even if you do see those teams win, like you got to change your strategy up, man. You'll bet on those two teams next week, and they'll fuck around and won't even cover, or one of the teams might lose. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's just how college football is, man. It's unpredictable. It's unpredictable. Unpredictable. Unpredictable, man. I thought the same thing with Indiana uh this week. Same thing I was doing my last week. I'm like, oh man, I thought, shit. Man, money line ain't even safe. I'm telling you, man, you will take them teams and they'll fuck around and lose next week. They fuck around and lose next week, man. You know what I'm saying? For real. Money line ain't safe. I'm telling you, college football is unpredictable, bro. Like, it's unpredictable. You know what I'm saying? You don't never know. You don't never know with this shit. 2 weeks ago, we came one game away from hitting the 12 team parlay. We had 11 games in. We had 11 games in. And my last game, I was waiting on Charlotte. Charlotte was playing Georgia State, and Georgia State had to cover 13-point spread. Then they ended up losing the game. And they was favored by 17. I took the spread down to 13. I'm like, no, I don't think they can cover 17-point spread. Took it down to 13, and they lost the game straight out. Like, a team that was favored by 17 points lose the game straight out. that right there just told me right off the rip, like, man, college football is unpredictable, man. Like, how the hell a team that's favored by 17 points lose the game straight up? Like, normally the team that's favored by that many points, they're gonna win the game. They might not cover the spread, but they'll win the game. No, they ain't even winning the game. They lose the game. And it be having me thinking, man. Like, I'll be thinking I think real deep when it comes to gambling, man. And it have me thinking that some of these teams just be. I think some of these bookies be paying these teams to throw these games, man, because these performances I'm seeing week to week ain't adding up to what I saw week 1, week 2, week 3. You know what I'm saying? Like, teams that you would think like, oh man, they gonna cover spread easily. Nah, they just fold. Like, it's like they get paid right before the game. Like, somebody come to their locker room right before the game and hand everybody on the team a check. Everybody get a check for throwing the game. You're gonna get a check for not playing your best. We're gonna give you a check for that. Cincinnati Bearcats is not a good team. They all right. They decent. They ain't no motherfucking 21 points better than Indiana, man. No, man. Hell. All that shit they lost to the NFL. We talking about they lost everything to the NFL, man. Yeah, the NI did. Yeah, man. See, when you start putting money into the game, man, now the game changes. You know what I'm saying? The game changes because now the players are getting paid and they don't even have to go out there and put a 100% performance into the game no more because they getting paid. You know what I'm saying? Back in the days before they start paying these players used to go all out for the university because they was trying to get to that next level because they trying to get that bag. They chasing that bag. These players ain't thirsty no more, man. They go to college. It's for the highest bidder, which I ain't knocking you. I ain't gonna sit up here and tell nobody don't go up here and get paid. If they gonna pay you for playing football, go get that check. But I need for you to put your 100% all into this. I don't just need for you just to show up. Like, most of these teams, man, just showing up. Like, they ain't even caring about winning or losing. They just showing up so they can get their check. Like, man, we showed up. You know what I'm saying? Just disappointing, man. Like, disappointing from a lot of teams yesterday, man. A lot of teams. Man. And we ended up going 2-2 on my personal plays. But like I said, Indiana and Michigan, you know what I'm saying? Michigan just told me that they showed me who I thought they was, and they ain't. Like, so Michigan is fool's gold. That's what they is. Fool's gold. Penn State didn't cover the spread. Uh, you already know Georgia didn't cover the spread. See, that's what I'm saying. Georgia didn't come play yesterday. So somebody probably had big money on Georgia yesterday, and they didn't cut the play. Didn't come to play. Yeah, you know, at least the teams didn't come to play, man. They came and got their check, and you know, they went home. They went home, man. last week. 4 for you. It wrapped up in the books. Week 5 will bring a whole lot of uh, more teams gonna get exposed in week 5. Trust me. More teams gonna go down, gonna get exposed. North Carolina finally got exposed yesterday. Man, they gave up. I think Notre Dame got like 48 points yesterday. It was like 48. I think Notre Dame had 48 points yesterday. They pounded North Carolina on that ground. And they couldn't stop that tight end either. Like, man, that tight end. Notre Dame might have the best tight end in the country. That dude catch everything. And he explosive. They could not stop dude. Dude was catching everything, man. Man, dude was catching everything. You know what I'm saying? That dude was catching everything. And then they couldn't stop the run. Notre Dame was just pounding them. Every time I looked up, Notre Dame was running for 15, 16 yards. I wonder what that running game, what that dude ended up rushing for yesterday. I know he had over 100 yards. I know he had over 100. Had to have over 100 yards yesterday. I know they had over 100 though. And right before the game started, they said North Carolina was 2-20 versus Notre Dame. I didn't even know that stat. I didn't even know that. I was like, damn. I think Matt Brown they end up it was 45 points. Mike Brown might retire after this year. Like that defense was trash. And then you fired your defense coordinator. See, that's what be killing me, man. These coaches be firing they have fired their defensive coordinator, and they don't even be the defensive coordinators, the players. Stats on five stats. I go to ESPN. Now ESPN good for stats and stuff like that, but that's about it. Yeah, you're right, man. You're right about that. You're right about that, man. Because they could not stop dude from Notre. They could not stop that tight end from Notre Dame yesterday. Like, he did whatever he wanted to do. He that opened up everything. Like North Carolina couldn't stop that. Man, they was doing whatever. Notre Dame did whatever they wanted to do. running the ball, throwing the ball. I mean, then North Carolina, they look lost out there. Like, they look lost. That defense got destroyed. Notre Dame destroyed that defense. Now Notre Dame starting to look. They starting to look like a competent team now. Notre Dame starting to look like a competent team. And if I was a team, I wouldn't want to play Notre Dame right now. Right? They getting their swag. Right? All they had to do was get that dub. When they got their first win against California, you know what I'm saying? They inked that out. Now they got their swag back, man. I wouldn't want to see Notre Dame right now. Notre Dame looking real good, man. They looking real good. Offense and defense. I knew North Carolina wasn't gonna be able to torch Notre Dame defense, how they've been torching all these other teams. North Carolina scoring all these points because they ain't got no defense. They ain't had no defense since last year. Even last year, they ain't had no defense. North Carolina never had defense. We ain't never known North Carolina to have a top 10 defense in the country. Never. They had a top 10 offense in the country, but not no defense. So North Carolina, your season is over. It's over with. You got plenty more losses coming. And I think don't y'all play? No, they don't play Clemson this week. That's NC State. But you got more losses coming, North Carolina. Michigan State, you got more losses coming. Wisconsin, you got more losses coming. Maryland, you got more. I think Michigan gonna lose 2 times. I think 2 teams gonna beat Michigan in the Big Ten. You got a fat L coming when you go to Ohio State at the end of the year. You can book that. Right? That's a guaranteed loss right there. Right? So you got that coming, and I think Penn State. I think Penn State can beat. I think Penn State will beat Michigan because what I saw yesterday, really, I ain't see shit yesterday from their quarterback, J.J. McCarthy. They kept talking about all this shit. J.J. McCarthy is the next up and coming Tom Brady. I was like, man, shut the hell up, man. He ain't no goddamn Tom Brady. He locked in on this tight end. Every time he throw the ball, if the tight end ain't open, he throwing the ball away. Like he ain't a good quarterback. I ain't see nothing yesterday that proved me right. Like that was pathetic performance. He was the reason why they didn't cover the spread. J.J. McCarthy was the reason why Michigan didn't cover that goddamn spread yesterday because they did not let him throw that football because they knew you suspect throwing this goddamn football. We ain't gonna let you throw the football down the field. Not unless somebody wide open shit. Right. You suspect. And when you come to Ohio State at the end of the year, Michigan, you got a fat L coming. I'm talking about fat. I need to lock that spread in now. Last time I heard, they had just released it. Ohio State is favored by 10 and a half. I need to lock that in now. Because if you don't lock that in now, and we wait till we get close like 3 weeks before the game start or 3 weeks away from the game, man, that spread gonna be crazy. It's gonna be like uh Ohio State minus 28 points and shit. Yeah, Carson Wentz, oh man. I ain't never had no faith in that motherfucker, man. You don't know which Carson Wentz you're gonna get. You're gonna get The pick turnover Carson Wentz, you know what I'm saying? When he turned this motherfucker over 3, 4 times, you know, or you don't never know what you're gonna get with his motherfucking ass, boy. You gotta uh, proceed with caution Wentz. Proceed with caution. He ain't even in my parlay this for today. I ain't put no money on his ass. There's other games out there that you know what I'm saying I'm locked in on. Cause like I said, it's only a 5-teamer. I don't be playing all the games in NFL because it's tricky. NFL tricky as hell, man. But I would not be putting no money on that Philly and Washington game today. Pass me up on that. Like I said, there's other games out there that we got our eyes on. And I'm gonna have a recap it once these games are over with in the NFL today. I'll come back and have a recap on my 5-team parlay for the day for me and my clients. Like I said, 2 units on this 5-teamer. I'll come back and have a recap on the NFL. So good luck on everybody's best, man. I hope everybody win cash out, man. You know what I'm saying? Hit me up on Twitter, Instagram for plays.